What's going on, everybody? Here it is, another Monday. I've got 10 work days until my 2-week vacation. So super excited for that. I think I'm going to make it through until the end of those 2 weeks. We got some not midterms. We got finals coming up for students. I'm trying to prepare for them, doing some study guides, doing some last minute reviews. Got a lot of grading going on at work. So definitely busy. Lucy's high school season's going. The weather's turning, so it's harder to get out and play a few holes with Molly. But it is nice and kind of chilly outside, which makes it fun to stay indoors. When it's cold out, being inside is the best, isn't it? And one of the things that I like to do when I'm inside is watch some videos. Now, speaking of, I've been watching a whole bunch of videos from President Mangini's call to how to improve the hobby. And later this week, on Thursday, he's going to have a live stream where a few of us are going to get together. He asked me to be included. I'm honored to do it. To talk about a lot of those responses on ways to improve the hobby. And he's going to pick a winner for his contest. So keep an eye out for that. It's a great panel of guys, some people I really enjoy. So I'm looking forward to that. So I hope that you all will join us. More information to come there. Another thing that's going on is I'm a little behind right now. Apologies. I'm a little behind on responding to some comments. I'm a little behind on responding to some emails. I'm a little behind on getting out my Captain Midlife cards. Some of you have filled out the form to get it, and I have not. I'm about a week backdated. So apologies. I had a couple people email me or message me through Instagram, and they're like, Greg, what happened? I never got it. And I'm like, I'm behind. I'm sorry. So I am getting caught up. Busy is not boohoo, Greg. Busy is good. Busy means lots of fun things are going on. Now, in this video today, I'm excited because what I asked last week was, if Santa were to bring you one present, what is the one card that you wish Santa would bring? Now, there are several reasons why I asked this question and several reasons why I'm excited for all of the responses. And there were a lot of great responses. Number one, I find it interesting. What are other people collecting? What are the cards right now that other people want? It's sort of like an insight into the demand from the card community. What do people want? Are people all wanting Jackie Robinson cards? Are they all wanting pre-war cards? Are they all wanting cards from the 1952 top set? What is it that a lot of us collectors right now are really interested in owning? And there were absolutely some themes, but the themes were all over the place. So there was a cluster of people who was interested in this sort of thing, and then a different cluster of people who was interested in a different sort of thing. I found that to be extremely interested, and I'm excited, I should say, to share all of those responses with you here. So enough of me. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first grouping of responses, and then I'm going to kind of stop and talk about what I took from those series of responses. And along the way, the other thing that I like to do is I love it when somebody says, this is a card I really, really want right now, because there's always a couple of times that I'm like, yeah, maybe I need that card too. So it's a great way to see a variety of cards that maybe brings up some nostalgia or some interest for me, for my own collection. Seeing what other people like, there's usually a reason why they like it, and it's usually because it's pretty cool. So let's take a look at the first few. Santa, I would love a 1975 George Brett mini card. Another fine video. If Santa were to bring me one card, what would I hope for? I would hope for a high-grade 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle. Not because I'm in love with that card, but solely so I could sell it and buy every other card that I could want, including the 51 Bowman Mantle and Mays. My buddy Darren says, great video, Greg. I am all about buying the nicest looking card I can afford. I've definitely paid up for a lower grade with great eye appeal. I hope Santa brings me the 1916 M101 4/5 Morehouse Babe Ruth that is part of the current REA auction. My guy Redneck Collector says, Greg, great video. I'm teaching my son now that he'll have the knowledge to keep collecting or liquidate, whichever he desires. I'm hoping Santa will bring a 48-leaf Stan Musial for Christmas. This next one says, interesting answers, Greg. People's old habits back in the day still surprise me sometimes. My answer for next week is easy. My priority focus is the 58 through 67 football. There are 2 cards I know I can't afford. A 58 Jim Brown rookie card is 1A. Number 1 is definitely a 65 Joe Namath rookie card. If you're listening, Santa, you know where I live. Another one says, great episode. My answer for next week, I wouldn't mind having a Pee Wee Reese 1941 play ball R336 rookie card in high grade SGC. And my buddy Don says, Greg, interesting listening to the feedback. As for what I would want from Santa, obviously out of reach, the 1894 Mayo cut plug N302 John Dunlop, known as the Anonymous card. If that one was unaffordable, how about the 1965 Joe Namath rookie Butterfly variant? And another comment says, interesting views, and I do think it falls on the age of the collector with the era they are collecting. Also their personal eye preference. As for this week's question, if I had to pick one card as Christmas Grail, the Ted Williams rookie. Christmas attainable 1960 Yaz rookie card. Okay, so those first few, there is a theme in there, right? There is absolutely a theme in those first group of responses. And they all have something in common. And what is it that they all have in common? They all have in common that they're rookie cards. Everybody that was mentioned there, all of those cards that were mentioned there that people want are rookie cards. And I know somebody's going to say, Greg, nope, the 52 Topps Mantle is not Mantle's rookie card. But what that response said was, I want the 52 Topps Mantle so I could sell it, so I could then go out and buy the 51 Bowman Mantle and the 51 Bowman Willie Mays, which are rookie cards. So basically, that kind of focused there on a bunch of rookie cards of all-time greats. George Brett, Ted Williams, Carl Yastrzemski, Jim Brown, Joe Namath, on and on and on. They're all first cards. And to me, there is absolutely a premium and an obsession with rookie cards. And there's, are rookie cards way more expensive than second-year cards? They are. Is there way more demand for rookie cards than second cards? There are. And, I did a video on it a while back, and I was like, for the price of an Ernie Banks rookie card, you could buy all of his other cards for the same price. You could buy all of the Hank Aaron cards for the same price of a rookie Hank Aaron card. Are his second through last cards really worth the same as his first card? Should it be? And I did, and this is like 2 years ago I did this video, and I just kind of said I could see the argument. But what is that argument? That argument is the thing I talk about all the time that I go back and forth on, which is quality versus quantity. Would I rather have 15 Hank Aaron cards or one premier Hank Aaron card? Right? And again, I don't think there's a right or a wrong answer. I could see why somebody would want to go with a bunch of cards over one single card, and I could see why someone would want the rookie card over all the other cards. So my question that I wanted to talk about here was, why do we love rookie cards so much? Now, I can't speak for all of you, and I can't say, well, this is why you all like rookie cards. I can speak, however, for me. Why do I like rookie cards of these guys? And in a lot of cases, it really boils down to, again, for me, of just a couple of things. Number one, A rookie card is such a symbol of hope. It's a symbol of hope of, here is this guy before he was great. This card was pulled from a pack and a lot of people didn't even know who this guy was. So, somebody opens up some play ball cards in 1939 and a Ted Williams card is pulled out. And people probably don't even know who that is. Now, some might, some would. In 1958, when somebody pulls out, a Jim Brown rookie card, there are a lot of people who would just keep going through. There's this famous video of somebody pulling a huge Mike Trout. It's like a TikTok video or a YouTube video or something. This guy pulling this huge Mike Trout card, and he's going through it, and he goes, oh, look at this. It's just some rookie auto. Anybody know if he's any good? And come to find out, it's a massive card.
Got an orange. Oh, and it's autographed. Mike Trout. I can't remember if this dude's good. Number to 50. Orange autograph. Mike Trout. That name sounds familiar. Maybe I've seen him in another product.
That's part of what's amazing about rookie cards is when those cards were printed, it wasn't special yet. It became special. And that's one of the things about cards now is people will open packs now and there's so much prospect hyping and there's so much, planning on the future of what a card is going to do and what a player is going to do. It's just assumed that this is a massive card, and only rarely is it actually a massive card. In many cases, it's not a massive card at all. It ends up being, a not very expensive card. Insert, Trey Lance.
Oh my God. Who's got the Niners? Oh my God, who's got the Niners? M-Temp, come on. Be the right one. Oh! Oh, no way! No way! No way!
Mac Jones. Davis Mills.
At number 4 is Davis Mills' best Prism rookie card, the 1/1 Black Finite. It sold for just over $40,000. He now hasn't started a game in the last 2 seasons.
And so on and so on and so on. These guys were cards that these guys were screaming when they were pulling them out of packs. And now they're nothing. Versus, it's one of the things that makes, a Tom Brady rookie card special is when that card was pulled from a pack in 2000, did people think that was a huge hit? No. But come to find out, it was the biggest hit in the entire box. The other thing I love about rookie cards, and again, I'm just speaking for me, that I think is very, very cool, is the youth of the player. We watch highlights of Hank Aaron, rounding the bases at the record-breaking home run and the random guys running up to him on the field, right? And when that happens, you look back and you go, he's kind of an older man. Not older. He's my age, right? I guess that's older. That's older. But you end up going, man, that was what we remember. You remember the end of their career. You remember seeing pictures of them at the ballpark after their career. Once they're famous, but the youth on their faces in the cards on their rookie card is so special. That Pee Wee Reese from that 41 play ball set. He looks like a young kid because he is a young kid. That Stan Musial. And the Stan Musial, he had actually been playing for a minute first. But, all of those cards, these guys look so young. And it makes it date stamps the card because it captures their innocence. It captures their youth. And it captures, their hopes of what they hoped to become that later we find out they did become. It's like seeing the future and seeing in their eyes and in their face the expectations that they had that nobody else knew was coming. And to me, those images of those youthful young kids who became all-time greats, and the fact that when those cards were pulled from packs, were probably just passed through and not, oh my gosh, this is a huge pick, this is a huge hit, makes their existence now, it makes part of the story. And to me, cards are just a way for us, they're just a medium for us to experience a story of years past and of history. And I love that about rookie cards. Let's take a look at another series of responses that also have a similar theme. Let's check those out now. For the card I'd want Santa to bring, I saw someone already had the same answer, but I'll go with the 1953 Satchel Paige. Definitely not as expensive as many other cards I'd love to have, but it's one of the main ones I'm hoping to actually buy for myself soon. I've been watching some Satchel documentaries and listening to the Black Diamonds podcast, and also got to visit the Negro Leagues Museum in Kansas City earlier this year, which has given me some appreciation for him. Another one says, I mostly do raw and inexpensive. I rarely spend over $50. When I want an expensive card, I will target graded. Fortunately, my sons like cards, so I'm less concerned about the life insurance aspect. And besides, I hope that cards are a very small percentage of my inheritance to them. Regarding one Christmas card I'd like, it's the 1953 Topps Satchel. Low grade is perfectly acceptable. I'm building a set of Negro Leaguers, and this is my next big card. Cheers. My guy Tony, Southern Collector 14, says, great video, Greg. I will always take the lower mid-grade card with high eye appeal. My dream card is the 1910 T210 Old Mill Red Border Joe Jackson. There are only 12 or less graded of these amazing relics. The card pictures him while playing for the New Orleans Pelicans. The one from Santa card is easy for me. A 52 Topps Jackie Robinson to complete my Jackie Robinson Topps run. My guy Golden Slumber says, easy and likely. The most popular response to your question this week, Greg? The 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle in any grade. It's the most iconic card in the hobby, and the Mick was my boyhood idol along with Bart Starr. I had Starr's 57 rookies, so if you're listening, Santa, please send me that mantle. If Santa was so kind to drop by this Jewish boy's home in this year, could be the case since the first day of Chanukah is Christmas Day. It would be a miracle if he dropped off a T206 green Cobb portrait. Regrets from years ago when I was offered at the Cleveland National an SGC2, good, well-centered, no creases, but a small paper loss on Ty's cheek for $1,150. If I could only turn back the clock. I have the red Cobb just as Santa has Rudolph, but I hear he has been looking for a Rudolph, the green-nosed reindeer, so I am sure he understands and will bring me my green Cobb. I hope. All right, so what is the kind of universal theme with those responses? Well, one of the universal themes with those responses for me is they're kind of iconic cards. They're cards of all-time greats that in most cases, most of us could close our eyes and say, what does the 53 Satchel Paige look like? What does the 52 Topps Mantle look like? What does the green T206 Ty Cobb look like? And when you close your eyes and you can see a card, and a huge percentage of the community can see that card, that is a special card. And I totally I totally love and understand the whole thought process behind collecting iconic cards. You know, you see this card and you see it and you see it and you see it and you know what it looks like, but you don't have it yet. I don't have a 53 Topps Satchel Paige yet. I hope to have one someday. I don't have one yet. My collection is not, super broad. I just don't have the funds to buy nearly all the stuff that I'd like to own. But one of the reasons that these cards are iconic is because they're absolutely gorgeous. If I were to say, to the average person, what is the average collector? What does the 49 Leaf Satchel Paige look like? Now, a lot of you can picture that card. And a lot of you can't picture that card. You go, what does that look like? Well, one of the reasons that I think some of us struggle to picture it is because it pales in comparison to the beauty of the 53 Topps. When you compare the looks of those two cards, the 53 Topps is an absolutely stunningly beautiful card. And the 49 the 49 Leaf is an incredibly important card. It's a really, really, really important card. But because it's not as beautiful as the 53 Topps, it's harder for us to remember. There are several cards in the Mantle run. If I said, hey, everybody, what's the 66 Topps Mantle look like? A lot of us could remember that and know, oh, yeah, it looks like this. He's standing. It's from this spot, And then a lot of us would go, But if you say, how about the 52 Topps Mantle? A lot of us can, again, remember it because it's absolutely stunning. It's a stunning card. So a lot of the times cards are not just iconic because they're important. They're also iconic because they're gorgeous, And you could go across the board. One of the reasons the 89 Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr. card is so iconic is not just because it's Ken Griffey Jr. It's not just because it's the 89 Upper Deck. It's because it's beautiful. It is a beautiful image. And a lot of important cards are also important because they're gorgeous. And so when you're looking at a card and you're collecting a card and you go, man, that is such a pretty card, that generally is a reason to buy that card. And when you look at the card and go, oh man, it's a cool card, but it's too bad that it has this. It's too bad it has this, blotch over here. It's too bad it has this corner issue over here. Then what that means is that's not the card for you to go after. Now, I made a fairly big purchase about a week ago, and I'll show it soon. It's going to be probably my 1 December pickup. It's big. It's a big pickup for me. Again, my budget is a normal human being's budget. It might even be a little higher than a normal human being's budget, but it's a big pickup, and it's a beautiful card. I saw it, and I'm like, that's gorgeous. I have to have that. That is a gorgeous example of a gorgeous card. I am going to buy this. And I'm going to include it on my top probably 50 card countdown. I think I'm just going to do 50 cards because, again, I don't have a million cards. And I'll include it there and I'll unveil it there. And unveil, that sounds like a much bigger deal than it is. It's not that big of a deal. But it's beautiful and I just love the looks of it. And because of it, I had to buy it. And when you get that itch and you see a card and you're just thinking about the card, you go, I hope that didn't sell yet. You're at the card show, you go, I'm going to swing by and see if it's still there. I hope it's still there. I'm going to check the eBay listing, make sure it didn't sell yet. That is your mind telling you that you really want it. And sometimes you can't explain why you really want it. It just is speaking to you that is something I want. Listen to that. Those are the cards that you're going to treasure the most. Regarding whether or not grades matter, they may matter a little because of the information they provide about the condition of the card. To me, that is the only reason the grade on a card matters. If you are a collector who subscribes to the phrase, buy the card, not the grade, that would be the only reason a grade would matter. As for a card I would want Santa to bring me, I would want a 1959 Three Stooges card of Curly. Another great video, awesome responses from everyone. A card that I would like to have on Christmas would be a Bob Trice from the Philadelphia, Kansas City Athletics. My one card from Santa would be a really nice 1959 Bazooka Ernie Banks. My answer to next week's question is if Santa could bring me one card, it would be the 1972 Mike Schmidt Puerto Rican sticker. Due to the cost and scarcity, I'm pretty sure Santa would have to be the one to bring it to me, since I'm not sure how I could acquire it otherwise. Hopefully, being on the good list will be enough. If Santa brought me a card, I would like something for my Rick Smits PC that I never saw for sale on any platform. Most of the vintage cards I want I could find myself. Santa, please bring me a 91-92 Fleer 3D acrylic number 86 Rick Smits. My answer for next week's question is simple. The 1993 Finest Refractor Cal Ripken Jr. card. My favorite player and an iconic set. I rarely see them for sale, and when I do, they usually go too quick for me to scrounge up the cash necessary to purchase it. If Santa could bring me one card, easy. And the greedy answer is the 1997 Metal Universe Michael Jordan Green PMG. What I really want would be what my grandpa supposedly had. He's told me that he was gifted some tobacco pins and candy from U.S. troops during World War II when he served for Korea. Apparently, some tobacco which contained sports cards. He mentioned this when he saw that I collected baseball cards when I was a kid, and that he had it back at home in Korea. He passed away a long time ago, but I always wondered what it was. I honestly just want to see a picture of what the cards were. I'm okay not owning them. Grading doesn't matter unless you plan on selling the card for profit or investment purposes. For a true collector, all you need is eye appeal and to save yourself from being taken by reprints or scammers. You would just need authentication. Personally, I think grading is flooding and ruining the market. So many slabs, many on useless cards. It's getting harder to find any good raw cards to buy. From Santa, I'm looking to get a Giannis Hoops rookie. I'm usually not into modern basketball cards, but I'm from Milwaukee, and he's probably our best player ever. All right, so the last collection of responses to me, that last collection of responses is everything I love about this hobby. It's not surprising that we all want a 52 Mantle. It's not surprising that a lot of us want a 58 Jim Brown rookie card. It's not surprising that we might want, an M101 Babe Ruth. Those things are not surprising. They're iconic cards. They're big cards. They're beautiful cards. They're expensive cards. The thing I love about those last few is some of us may not have even known some of those cards existed. That Mike Schmidt sticker card, that's actually before Mike Schmidt's Topps rookie card. So some people would make the argument it's his real rookie card. And to a Phillies fan, to a Schmidt collector, that's a huge card. It's a huge card. Some of us don't just collect baseball cards. I know we talk about baseball cards a lot, but some of us like non-sport cards. And one of the coolest non-sport card sets is that Three Stooges set. And that Curly card, not just the look on his face, not just the background color, but the fact that it's the number one card, it's the card on the top, it's the card that would have all the rubber band damage, makes it a sought after card. I love that some of us that watch this, because a lot of us go, oh, everybody here is a vintage collector. Well, maybe they all collect some vintage, but there are also people who want PMG cards, and that's a really, really expensive card. I get it. And some of us want, Giannis rookies, and some of us want Rick Smits cards. I mean, I couldn't even find a picture of that Rick Smits card. I found a picture of some of the other 3D acrylic cards, but I couldn't find one of the Rick Smits one. I mean, that says everything. These responses, some people are team collectors, some people are player collectors, some people are non-sport collectors, some people are their favorite team, like current active player collectors. There are so many people out there who collect for a variety of reasons. Now, it's fun to hear someone say, I want a Carl Yastrzemski rookie because it's an awesome card. And it absolutely is. But it's also fun to hear somebody say, I want this random card of this random player because he plays for my favorite team. And I want to collect all of the players of everyone who's ever played for my favorite team. Like, that's really cool. And in a lot of ways, that's kind of what the hobby is all about, isn't it? I think that it is. It's not always about collecting what everybody wants. Sometimes it's about you collecting something that you want that not a lot of other people are after. And that's one of the things I love about collecting Matt Manning cards, Greg Nettles cards. Heck, most people don't want Roger Clemens cards, but I do. Most people don't want Allen and Ginter Pirate cards, but I love them. That's part of what makes the hobby special. And that's part of what makes this hobby different than most hobbies. In a lot of hobbies that people do, people's interests are exactly the same. The beauty of this hobby is people's interests, in some cases, aren't the same as anyone else's. That is pretty cool. That is pretty special. For this coming week's question, I have for you an interesting one. So I watch a lot of YouTube channels, and I enjoy a lot of YouTube channels. And one of the YouTube channels that I enjoy watching is somebody who collects completely differently than how I collect, and that's the High Pop Professor. The High Pop Professor loves Greg Maddux cards. He loves 90s refractors. He loves insert cards. We probably don't have a lot of cards in common in each other's collections, but I still enjoy the way that he thinks and the way that he presents and the way that he speaks. And I really like his channel. If you haven't subscribed, I think that you should. And he did a video recently, this past week. And in the video, he talked about something that I've heard a lot of people talk about over the years. And are the grading companies doing population control? Now, I know it's there are tinfoil hats, there's conspiracy theories, and we say, yeah, they don't want any more Ricky Henderson rookie card PSA 10s because them and their buddies all have one and they don't want there to be more. We could throw out accusations like that all day long. And is that true? I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. Is it possibly true? I suppose. Seems like they'd have a lot to lose if they were doing that. But then in his video, and I'll provide a link in the description down below, he shares some data about the Derek Jeter SP rookie card and the gem rate of it and how many gems there are, how many PSA 10s there are versus how many have been submitted. And then he compares it to some other cards from the same set, like the Chipper Jones SP card, and how many those have received in 10s. And there were twice as many, I think it was maybe more than twice as many Chipper Jones have gotten a PSA 10 in that set than Derek Jeter. But there are 10 times as many Derek Jeters. Maybe it was not 10 times, but it was a lot more. I think it was 10 times, 5 times at least. There were 5 times as many Derek Jeters that were submitted as Chipper Joneses, but there were half as many Jeters that got 10s. Seems interesting. Are you a person who thinks that there is pop control? Are you a person who doesn't think that there's pop control? Not just thrown out wild, like seriously, what do you think? Does PSA actually do pop control or do they not? Share your thoughts, but don't just share your thoughts, but tell me why you think that. Don't say yes because they're crazy. No, tell me why you believe that they do or don't have pop control, along with your thoughts. I look forward to sharing those and talking about them next week.